One small step for man, one giant step for Bradley. I'm trekking through the Peruvian Andes, but it's becoming more of a struggle just to draw breath. The air gets thinner the higher I get, so every step is an effort of mind over matter.
Also in this Globe Trekker hour, Ilse Nevitt treks through the Amazon jungle.
That's foul, absolutely foul.
Peru was home to one of history's great lost civilizations, the Incas. It's still home to their descendants, who live as they have done for centuries in the high Andes. The Andes are the longest mountain range in the world and stretch from Venezuela to Argentina. From Cusco, the capital of the old Inca Empire, I pick up a mountain bike and head to the remote village of Malcao to see life at 13,000 feet. From there, I cycle down to the sacred valley of the Incas to the ancient ruins of Ollantaytambo. I then join the festival of Colliriti, the greatest pilgrimage in South America, held in the shadow of Mount El Sangate for hundreds of years.
This is how I'm going to be getting around. This area is great for biking. And what better way to acclimatize to the altitude?
Even at this, the lowest point in my journey, I'm at an altitude of nearly 9,000 feet. Until you're acclimated enough, even the slightest effort can leave you out of breath. The Incas were actually the upper class of society who ruled over different tribes. The people here now live the same way as they did in the 16th century. And that's what I want to discover on my journey, how their way of life has survived over the years.
Here's something you don't run into every day. A traffic jam. My first destination is the remote village of Malcao to experience the lifestyle of the Andean people who live there. The village lies about 4,000 meters above sea level, up in those mountains there.
It should take me the better part of a day, maybe two, to get there. It's tough cycling, so travel light.
I thought I was in pretty good shape. You know what, nothing could have prepared me for this. Just goes to show you that it's just key to acclimatize before you do any sort of exercise like this. Yeah, thanks for the heads up. About 2 hours ago.
The Andean people have adapted to this high altitude. They have bigger lungs and more red blood cells. This helps to carry oxygen around their bodies, and unlike me, they don't lose their breath the higher they go.
It's not just the altitude you have to deal with, because the road is so bumpy you have to stay on the edge. So because of that, if you're worrying about your breathing, you're not thinking about where you're going, and next thing you know, the bike's right on the edge, and you gotta come back. And because of that, you gotta catch your breath, and you have to contend with the wind every time you go around a turn. All you have to do is think about your breathing and make sure to take a rest. It's amazing how much the scenery's changed up here. It's very peaceful. There are llamas grazing down there. And there's still villages, people actually still live up here. It's hard to tell because they just sort of blend right into the landscape.
The temperature at lower levels can be 70 or 80 degrees, but as you climb higher, it can plummet to near freezing, even in the middle of the day.
How perfect is it? I get to the top. I can't see anything. I thought that road was never gonna end. But this is it. It's 4,300 meters, which is as high as the summit of the Matterhorn in Europe. Mount Whitney, which is the highest point in the continental US. And if that doesn't give you an idea, imagine the Empire State Building times 9. And that's how high I am right now. Now I know why. It's called mountain biking. I'm just gonna take in the view.
There are 20 families in Malcal, although to call it a village is misleading, because some of the houses are about 2 miles apart.
This is it. My destination. This is Malcal. You wouldn't even know it was here.
Jamana mama yo, echa jamana taita yo. Ay virista y vida mía, y mi nagara kayo lasun. Ay virista y vida mía, y nagara kayo lasun. Jamana mama yo, echa jamana taita yo. Ay virista y vida mía, y mi nagara kayo lasun. Ay virista y vida mía, y nagara kayo lasun.
This is Ramon and his family. They've been kind enough to let me stay with them. Ramon speaks Spanish, but his first language is Quechua, which is sort of the major language of the area. And the rest of his family only speaks Quechua, and I don't speak either. So it should make for an interesting time. Okay. Wow. Oh my God, look at all these guys. Guinea pigs.
Conejo.
Conejo?
Conejo.
Conejo. This is where I'm sleeping tonight. It's gonna be a full house tonight. Oh guys. Oh.
Llamas are a part of the Andean way of life. They use them as pack animals in areas where there aren't even roads. You can't ride them because they can only carry light loads.
They're gonna teach me how to shear them. Come on, little guy.
To the Inca people of the past, llamas were very important. Even today, when somebody dies, they still bury them with a small ceramic llama to accompany them to heaven. They're also proud animals, and if offended, they'll aim a spit straight at you. So approach them with care and a lot of respect.
I'm not gonna hurt you, big guy.
Okay.
Anywhere? Holy, oh my God.
The llamas also provide wool to make sweaters and warm clothes.
Sweating. Whew. It's hurting me more than him. How long does it take to, ¿Cuánto tiempo,
¿Todo?
Toto?
20 minutos.
20 minutes.
15 así. 15 minutos.
15 minutes, 15, 20 minutes?
Sí.
I've been doing it for what, about 15, 20 minutes? We haven't gotten anything. I'm gonna leave it to the professionals. How about that? Gracias. Gracias, amigo. This place is about as far away from home as I could have imagined. And as an introduction to Andean life, it's pretty out there. But I can only imagine what these people must think of me. I sort of don't really fit in the landscape. I don't really look like them. I don't speak the same language. I don't really fit into their houses. But it's funny because every time that we're together, even though we can't really communicate, the thing that always happens is we laugh. And when I was shearing the llamas, we were laughing. When I went in and chasing the guinea pigs, we were laughing. It's gonna be funny to think of the stories they're gonna tell when I leave.
Malcal lies to the east of the Continental Divide, and every afternoon the hot air from the Amazon rainforest below rises up into the mountains and shrouds the village in a cold fog. Guinea pigs are an important source of protein in the Andean diet, and guess what's on the menu for me tonight?
So this is it. This is the cuy, the guinea pig, that they were kind enough to make for me.
I have to say that I feel a little queasy about it. I usually can eat anything. Well, maybe it'll taste good.
Gracias.
Smells like chicken. Just eat it. Yeah. Yeah. It's really good. It's really good. It's like it's a really, really tender chicken. Yeah, you're really good. So good I almost forgot. Gracias.
Gracias.
Aini, or
Gracias.
barter, is the Andean
Gracias.
way for reciprocity. And in return for their hospitality, I'm giving them something that they need. You give them salt, or sugar, or matches for a fire.
Gracias.
Gracias. They have me staying where I ate dinner tonight with all the guinea pigs. Feeling a little guilty. Not really. But it's really comfortable here. I'm not really keen on leaving tomorrow, actually. They've been really friendly. There's something about eating with people. And even though we don't speak the same language, it was a really nice time. The people of the Andes are descendants of the Incas, and no trip to Peru would be complete without a visit to their ruins. I'm heading down into the Sacred Valley to visit the spectacular ruins of Ollantaytambo. The Inca Empire was as large as the Roman Empire, but they only ruled for just 150 years. By the beginning of the 16th century, they were brought to their knees by conquerors from Spain. One of the last great battles happened here at Ollantaytambo. The Incas outwitted the Spaniards, but they lost the war. The Spaniards left the Inca Empire in ruins. I'm meeting up with Peter Frost, a local expert on the Inca civilization, who shows me around this great Inca temple and tells me why the site was so important.
In 1536, the whole of Peru was in revolt against the Spanish who'd conquered the country 4 years earlier. And the Spanish were in big trouble. They had Lima was under siege, the Spaniards in Cusco were under siege. Manco Inca, the rebel Inca, was headquartered here at Ollantaytambo. And the Spanish in Cusco decided to make a bold charge against the heart of the resistance. This was the place where the Incas had their last glorious victory against the Spanish.
How was it possible that they defeated them here and never anywhere else?
Because by then the Incas were getting the hang of how to deal with Spanish tactics and the horses. They used archers from the jungle for the first time. And they also diverted this river we can see below us here, the Patacancha River. They flooded the plain and they were able to make it so swampy that the Spanish found themselves fighting with their horses up to their bellies in mud. They had to retreat. They were lucky to get away with their lives.
This is the village of Ollantaytambo, so the last living and breathing Inca settlement. People live here the way they did back when the Incas ruled this area. Same stonework, you have the same irrigation system that runs through each street. The Incas were great builders, and they used intricate stonework and complex irrigation systems in their settlements. This is how most of the people live in the Inca settlements. So you have families all situated around one courtyard. And there's little ducks and geese. It's a family.
Mi madre.
Madre, sí, sí. Apparently the older woman, 110 years old. You see these canes with red bags all over the place. Apparently it means there's a chicheria inside.
and Chicha's maize beer. I'm gonna try me some local booze.
Pedro!
Pedro, hey, hey! Chicha, huh?
Chicha,
okay.
Chicha,
Rica. Yeah, for me.
Okay.
Gracias, señor.
Ahí está. Salud.
Salud, huh? Salud.
Salud, salud, salud. Salud.
Salud, señorita. Salud, salud. It's not bad.
Bueno.
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 Sí, sí. Tastes like eggnog with water.
Sí.
Sí. Buena de eggnog with water. Sí.
The final stage of my journey takes place here, near Mount El Sangate. The Coliriti festival has been held here for hundreds of years. El Sangate is considered the most sacred mountain in this region. I'm joining 20,000 people from all over southern Peru to attend this yearly ritual.
I just got off a bus, 7-hour ride overnight from Cusco to this place, El Congate. All I have to do now is just hitch a ride up the Sankara Valley to Coliriti so I can begin my pilgrimage. Mawayani?
Mawayani, sube.
Oh, great. Buenos dias. Hola. Mawayani? Sí, it's okay. Hola. Mawayani! Sí.
The road to Coliriti is a tiring and dusty journey along a spectacular but unpaved road.
If you can see, everybody is dressed up in different bright colors. Like this woman, beautiful dress, and these two guys up top here. I don't know if you can tell, but there's so much dust that keeps coming through. It doesn't seem to bother anybody else.
The road ends at a tiny village where thousands of pilgrims gather before starting a 5-mile hike up the valley to the festival.
This is Mawayani. Normally a one-horse town, but come festival time, it's tent city. People selling everything from Coca-Cola to cocoa leaves. All I have to do now is find my guide.
I meet my guide Juan amid the noise and bustle of the town. He warns me that this is a tough hike, even for those who are used to the altitude.
I already feel my heart.
Yeah, it's pumping fast.
What's that?
It's pumping fast.
Yeah, exactly. Is yours?
Not so fast.
You're used to it.
Yeah.
I've come from 9,200 feet and I'm heading up to around 15,000 feet, so altitude sickness, known locally as sriracha, can be a problem.
My lungs are just not getting enough oxygen.
Yeah, would you like to taste some coca leaves?
Cocoa leaves?
Yeah. Will be great for you.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Just put it in my mouth?
Yeah. Now you have to shoot.
How long do I have to do it for?
Like 5 minutes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, no more.
Coca leaves are a bitter-tasting, mild stimulant used by most Andean people to fight off cold, hunger, and the effects of living at these extreme altitudes. It's also a good idea to have a bag of coca leaves to use as a gift for people who help you along the way.
I can't believe people are wearing sandals.
The festival is an incredible sight and totally unexpected. Thousands of tents cover the hillside, and the noise is deafening.
This is Coliriti. There's about 30,000 people here. It's just a massive celebration.
To the Catholic Church, the festival is a celebration of the miraculous appearance of Jesus as a boy to a young shepherd in the 18th century. The worshippers line up day and night to enter the church and receive the blessing of the Lord of Coliriti, one of the many images of Christ found in the Andes.
The festival is held 2 days before Corpus Christi in May or June of every year.
This is the largest show of Andean pride and native religion in all of the Americas, but its real purpose is for humans to celebrate nature. The goal is to climb to the glacier at the end of the valley and collect ice which will be used as holy water for the rest of the year.
Every town and village in the region sends dancers and musicians to this mass celebration of Catholic and native belief.
The dancers' costumes portray mythical characters, like these, the ikukus. These are mysterious figures that represent either llamas or bears. They are the guardians of the mountain spirits and can be either playful or disciplinarian. They play a crucial role in both the religious and organizational side of the celebration. The ikukus adopt their character from the moment they leave their village until the end of the festival. Their high-pitched voices are both funny and weird. If anyone is caught behaving badly, the ikukus will hand out harsh justice and are rumored to strip the offender and throw water over them before leaving them on the freezing glacier overnight.
Sometimes here, faith takes on a more materialistic form. If there's anything you desire for the next year, whether it's a car or a new house or even a marriage, the imaginary market's the place to get it. You can actually purchase whatever it is you want here, including a certificate of ownership that will ensure that within the next year you're going to get whatever you want. There's guys walking around with trucks underneath their arms. There's people building roads for their cars. There's women sort of building houses out of rocks. And over there, they're performing a wedding ceremony.
The music and dancing continues throughout the 4-day festival, day and night. The noise echoes off the mountain and the sacred glacier at the end of the valley. The glacier which tomorrow I'm going to climb.
And I still haven't slept. It's about 10 below zero out here, and the damn neighbors have been singing and dancing all night. But a man's got to do what a man's got to do. I'm gonna go climb the glacier.
The ikukus head up the glacier long before dawn to perform their rituals and to cut ice that they'll take back to their villages.
It's taking me about an hour to get this far. Can't really feel my toes, but you can see the first beams of light sort of tipping the edges of the ridges of the mountains.
As you climb higher towards the glacier, the altitude can make you feel really terrible.
Even though there's millions of tons of water in this glacier, like, your mouth is still so dry. You need water. Actually, I feel really drunk at this point. My head's sort of spinning.
Every year, people lose their lives climbing this glacier. But for the Andean people, this is seen as something holy. Nature taking something back.
I just don't understand how people are going up here without crampons. I don't understand.
This is the end of the festival, and its point. Mount El Sangate is a sacred mountain, and the water from the glacier is considered to be holy. They take this back to their villages, and they use it to bless the land. They believe that this holy water will bring them a healthy harvest. This is a daunting sight for me to see. It really shows how the spirit of the Andean people will never be broken.
I made it. I made it. The Indian people take water from the glacier back home with them for good luck. When I set out on this trip, I wanted to find out something about them, and I did. But I think I found out more about myself. There must have been a dozen times in this trip where I really didn't think I could go on anymore. But I kept going, and I made it. And for that, I'm really thankful. This trip is something I'm never going to forget.
Ever.